LaShawn Thompson was a 35-year-old resident of Georgia whose life took an unexpected turn on June 12, 2022. He was arrested for a misdemeanor simple battery charge and found himself in a pre-trial detention as he was unable to secure bail. As the legal proceedings unfolded, it became apparent that LaShawn was grappling with a multitude of mental health issues, leading authorities to transfer him to the psychiatric wing of the Fulton County Jail. Shockingly and surprisingly, his family remained uninformed and unaware of his placement in this specialized facility. This is the beginning of a tragic narrative that exposes the vulnerabilities and systemic shortcomings within the criminal justice system. The first question we might want to ask is, why exactly was LaShawn in jail in the first place? Well, this answer is not far-fetched. He seemed to have spit on a Georgia Tech cop who arrested him on an outstanding car theft warrant in Alabama. Seeing as he was unable to secure bail, he was left in a pre-trial detention. In a concerning turn of events, LaShawn's struggles with mental health, compounded by bipolar depression and schizophrenia, were identified upon his arrival at the Fulton County Jail. Rather than receiving the specialized care one would expect in a psychiatric wing, LaShawn became a casualty of an overburdened and seemingly indifferent system. The Fulton County Jail, one of the largest in the United States with a capacity exceeding 2,500 inmates, had been marred by a series of scandals and incidents that hinted at an institution on the brink. A deputy's dismissal for allowing inmates to order from restaurants, a female officer's inappropriate relationship with an inmate caught on camera, and the facility's evident overcapacity of around 3,000 inmates only scratched the surface of the institution's issues. LaShawn's placement in the psychiatric wing was not communicated to his family, leaving them in the dark about his predicament. As the facility grappled with overcrowding and systemic problems, LaShawn's mental and physical health deteriorated rapidly, a fact noted by concerned staff members who reported these issues to their superiors. Shockingly, despite these red flags, no substantial action was taken to intervene or address LaShawn's dire situation. The climax of this tragic narrative unfolded on September 13, 2022. Staff members, compelled to enter LaShawn's cell, were met with a scene that defied humanity. His lifeless body, covered in bugs, lay unresponsive with open eyes. The first responders' refusal to administer CPR, citing being too freaked out, epitomized the callousness that seemed to permeate the institution. Multiple attempts to resuscitate LaShawn failed, and he was pronounced dead, leaving his family shattered and seeking answers. Images from LaShawn's cell, released in the aftermath, painted a haunting picture. Bugs infested his face, nose, eyes, and mouth, with the cell itself resembling a space unfit for any living animal. Not to talk of a human being who was in dire need of specialized care. The autopsy report corroborated the horror, revealing thousands of insect bites, filth, and significant weight loss. While the cause of death remained undetermined, the family firmly believed that the abysmal conditions at the jail contributed to his demise. The aftermath of LaShawn's death triggered a cascade of events within the Fulton County Jail. The corrections officer who documented the incident revealed having raised concerns about LaShawn's living conditions and deteriorating health over the preceding 3 months. However, these concerns seemingly fell on deaf ears, and the senior staff appeared apathetic to his plight. After the revelation of LaShawn's tragic fate, executive staff within the jail resigned, acknowledging the urgent need for reform. The Fulton County Sheriff's Office, faced with public outrage, pledged $500,000 to combat the infestation of bedbugs, lice, and other vermin. A promise to update security protocols to address sanitary conditions was made, albeit in a somewhat tone-deaf statement that acknowledged the facility's dilapidated state. In the wake of LaShawn's death, a criminal investigation was demanded by his grieving family. Their pursuit of justice extended beyond closure for their loss. It became a clarion call for accountability within a system that seemed to have failed at every level. The resignation of key personnel within the jail was a step towards acknowledging the need for a comprehensive overhaul. Yet, LaShawn's case transcends the individual tragedy and exposes systemic issues within the criminal justice system. The facility's routine pre-trial detention exceeding 90 days and in some instances over 2 years illustrated a pervasive problem. Individuals, often unable to afford bail, found themselves trapped within a system that seemed more punitive than rehabilitative. The dire need for expanded and improved mental health services within correctional facilities became evident. LaShawn's case, where his mental health issues were known, underscored the imperative of tailored care for inmates grappling with psychological challenges. The lawyer representing LaShawn's family emphasized that there was no excuse for a mentally ill inmate to be abandoned to die alone in jail. As investigations unfolded, the Fulton County Sheriff's Office announced additional expenditures to address the facility's dire conditions. However, the acknowledgement of the challenges in maintaining a clean environment juxtaposed with the commitment to inmate well-being seemed inconsistent with the stark realities revealed by LaShawn's tragic case. In an emotional moment, LaShawn's brother spoke of the heartbreak upon learning of his brother's fate. The disturbing images of his cell and his insect-infested body left him devastated. He said, and I quote, "It's enough that the bedbugs and lice sat there and ate my brother to death, but the neglect hurts me the most. That in 2023, we will see people leave people. Let them torture, let them rot in themselves, that hurts me the most." These images are all over the internet, all over the media. It's disturbing, it's horrific, and it's a big impact on my family. I have another brother, and seeing these images and going through this as a family sent him into a mental breakdown. It's hard for me and my family, unquote. The family's demand for a criminal investigation and the subsequent resignations within the jail's leadership marked a pivotal moment in the quest for accountability. As the investigation continued, it was revealed that Colin Kaepernick, the former NFL player known for his activism, would fund an independent autopsy for LaShawn's family. The inconclusive state-conducted autopsy prompted this move, highlighting the family's commitment to uncovering the truth behind LaShawn's inexplicable death. One of the attorneys who was present at the press conference held to call Fulton County to take responsibility had this to say about the result of the autopsy. I quote, "Dr. Mitchell's autopsy report doesn't mince words. LaShawn Thompson's death was a result of severe neglect. It's not just about one thing. It's a culmination of untreated schizophrenia, poor living conditions, lack of grooming, rampant insect infestation, dehydration, and rapid weight loss. Schizophrenia is a health condition, a mental health one. Dr. Mitchell underscores that, just like untreated heart or kidney problems, if you leave schizophrenia untreated, it goes haywire, leading to decompensation, and that can be fatal. LaShawn was entirely dependent on his caregivers for life-saving care, and that care was denied. The neglect markers are stark. Consider the severe infestation of lice and bedbugs. The life cycle of lice is 24 to 28 days, but here we have a situation where it went on for way longer, exceeding 28 days. The images described are horrifying. Bugs biting him everywhere, in his eyes, nose, mouth, private areas. It's beyond comprehension. Fulton County leadership needs to answer for what happened in that jail, the severe neglect that led to LaShawn's death. The family deserves justice, unquote. This prompted a swift action by the Fulton County Board. there was a $4 million settlement approved by the Board of Commissioners for the family of LaShawn Thompson, and it serves as a somber acknowledgement of the tragic events that unfolded in the confines of one of the state's largest jails. Attorneys Michael Harper and Ben Crump, representing the Thompson family, expressed gratitude for the support and solidarity of the community. However, they also underscored that this settlement, though significant, is not the culmination but a crucial milestone in the pursuit of comprehensive justice for LaShawn Thompson. I quote, "We are nowhere near the end of this journey to full justice," the attorneys asserted. The commitment to work alongside the Thompson family and the rallying community echoes a resounding call for change. A touching plea is encapsulated in their statement. I quote, "LaShawn's life mattered, and together we can demand and motivate significant change in his name. That will be the legacy of LaShawn Thompson." Unquote. Fulton County Sheriff Patrick Labatt, while expressing solidarity with the Thompson family, acknowledged the need for systemic reforms within the correctional facility. He emphasized the commitment to undertake the necessary measures to prevent a recurrence of such a tragedy, stating, and I quote, "No amount of money can ease the grief of losing a loved one, but we do hope this settlement represents a measure of justice for the family." The circumstances surrounding Thompson's death, marked by a disturbing lack of proper care and hygiene, have prompted introspection and action. Thompson, suffering from untreated schizophrenia, was subjected to deplorable living conditions, severe neglect, and an appalling bedbug infestation. An independent autopsy declared his death a homicide, attributing it to the dire consequences of untreated mental health issues, compounded by the deplorable conditions in which he was held. The aftermath of Thompson's death has triggered a cascade of investigations and reforms. Internal investigations within the sheriff's office have already led to updated protocols for security rounds, increasing staffing in the mental health unit, and the transfer of inmates to alleviate overcrowding. The Department of Justice has also launched a comprehensive review investigating whether constitutional violations and systemic issues exist within the Fulton County Jail. The quest for this justice extends beyond financial compensation. It delves into systemic change, accountability, and a commitment to ensure that no other family undergoes a similar tragedy. The legacy of LaShawn Thompson becomes a catalyst for reform within correctional facilities, prompting a thorough examination of practices, protocols, and the treatment of individuals with mental health conditions.